Welcome to episode 12 of the $500 to $10,000 trading challenge. To start off today's episode, we can see that the rune over here that we entered during the last episode unfortunately got stopped out around break even over here. At the end of the day, it turned out to be the correct decision to move our stop loss to break even because we can see that afterwards the price would have dropped towards our stop loss. So we definitely did save ourselves from a lot of losses over here by moving our stop loss to break even. Why did I move my stop loss to break even? Because I saw this valid break of structure after this valid liquidity sweep over here. So to me it was a sign that either rune should continue higher, but it shouldn't made a new low over here. It did make a new low, and eventually, as you can see, it turned out to be a stop loss if we wouldn't have moved our stop loss to break even. So it was a good decision. But we start off today's episode with a break even. But on the other hand, guys, there's definitely something interesting going on with our INJ long. Because we can see that our INJ long that we charted and entered during the last episode, and I also made a YouTube video on this trade, shared the exact trading signal in that separate YouTube video that I uploaded on Wednesday, we can see that over here all three entries got hit, and we currently have an average entry price of $32.79, and INJ is back in slight profit. But most of all, it is very important to see how this third entry at this high probability order block beautifully gave us a sniper entry, and right now we have a high margin position fully filled, and if the price does continue to the upside from here, we are looking at potential massive profits. First, the profit target over here around $41.48, second take profit target at $49, and afterwards INJ might enter price discovery mode, so I will keep it 25% moonback. I will probably close 50% at the first take profit target, 25% at the second take profit target, and then keep 25% as a moonback. And along the way up, guys, if we get the correct confirmations, if we get the correct price action around the mid-range or around quarterly levels, I will tighten my stop loss into profits or to local lows, and I will be adding margin to this position to potentially compound profits along the way up to maximize our gains. Now, that doesn't mean that INJ cannot continue lower, obviously. It needs to give us some signs of strength. A sign of strength would be candle opens and candle closes above this high over here on the 4-hourly time frame. But on the lower time frame, guys, we are already slightly showing some signs of life over here. Because if we analyze a local downtrend, you see a high, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, higher high. Open and close candles above this level, so slightly shifting structure on the 1-hourly / 15-minute time frame. But like I said, guys, we really need those candle opens and candle close above this high. If we do get them, then I expect higher targets for INJ. So currently only running INJ, rune that stopped out around break even. The challenge account is still worth around $750. Market has been extremely choppy over the past 10 days. So we have hit a lot of break evens. But more importantly, guys, we didn't hit a stop loss. And I think that's definitely something that I'm pretty proud of, because if you look at the market conditions over the past 10 days, guys, it has been very slow, very choppy. A lot of people have been getting wrecked, and we have managed our positions pretty well. So now I'm hoping for INJ to reward our patience, to reward our discipline and our system, and to hopefully continue higher from here. But I'm also eyeing up another long position that I will share with you guys shortly after. Guys, we got wrecked pretty hard over here. As you guys can see, we hit 4 stops in a row. Not only did we hit 4 stops in a row, but when you look at the losses, when you look at the P&L, I slightly over-risked on the account. I got too confident. I thought that my system was giving me a very clear signal that the market was really going to continue higher. So I was really convinced with these long positions that I took, especially the first 3. You could have seen INJ already in a previous recording. I couldn't record the Bitcoin and Ethereum long because I was on a holiday to Germany to visit my brother-in-law and my sister who live in Munich right there. So I couldn't record these positions. Then I also entered a scalp long, trying to catch the Bitcoin local bottom after we got that crash during the weekend with Israel and Iran kind of war kind of things, right? And during that news event, I got wrecked pretty hard. Now, I'm not gonna blame the news event for getting wrecked right there, which is what many traders would do. I got wrecked because my system did give me the triggers in my opinion, but simply it didn't work. Now you have to realize that there's no single system out there that is perfect. But what should have been perfect and wasn't perfect in this instance was my risk management. Not only did I risk too much, because you can see that I lost $30, $30, and then $25, but also guys, I was in 3 different long positions at the exact same time with over risking. And that is something that is really stupid for me. So we went from $750 on the account all the way towards $650. And I did make a mistake right here. Now, I'm not perfect either. And many influencers, guys, wouldn't show these kind of losses and these kind of mistakes. But I'm a human after all. And after we've been going over some massive streaks, some huge wins in which we compounded profits like crazy, now the account took a bit of a hit. And guys, this is part of the game. But I'm eyeing up a few new positions. We are actually already in a brand new position on Fed, which is running in nice profits. But I'm also eyeing up brand new long positions on Near Protocol, Phantom, and maybe even an add-on on Fed AI as well. Okay guys, as you guys can see, Fed over here, the first long position is already running in unrealized profits of $12, which is pretty nice. But guys, I am looking to add to the current long position, which we ended over here. I gave the exact analysis on Twitter. I obviously gave the signal over here in the Discord server, where you can see Fed long risking $10 on the first entry, risking $5 on the second entry with the exact setup. And right now we have tightened the stop loss to this low over here. The price has reclaimed that high time frame range low in confluence with a break of structure to the upside over here, since we opened and closed multiple candles over here above this significant high. So I'm looking to compound. Besides Forex and commodity trading, Prime XPT has now also introduced crypto futures trading. So you can now also trade Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the numerous amounts of altcoins. Next to the fact that I think that Prime XPT to trade Forex and commodities with your own funds instead of trading at prop firms like Private Funded, I think Prime XPT is the best place to do so. Make sure to sign up with the link down below in the description to receive a 7% deposit bonus. Potential profits if we get a pullback, and then I'm looking for our first take profit target over here around the mid-range liquidity pool, second take profit target around the range high liquidity pool over here, and then potentially even higher, obviously, if the price continues higher from here without hitting our stop loss first. Now, because of this break of structure and because of this range low reclaim over here, I think we can look to add to the position over here on the pullback. Since we tightened our stop loss from this low to this low, we are only risking 0.2 R on the account. So very small risk, which means that we can add to the position some risk over here in case we get a pullback and still keep the same risk that we would have had at the original position. Now the second long position that I'm looking to add is Phantom, guys. A beautiful range with range pivot number 1, range pivot number 2, range pivot number 3, and range pivot number 4 over here, giving us a high probability range. Guys, we know after a deviation of the range low, technically speaking, you should visit the mid-range liquidity pool and the range high liquidity pool in case you have them and in case the price hasn't mitigated them yet. So I'm looking to long the first perfect retest of the range low. Now usually I would say, okay, don't long the first retest of the range low, only if the entry model provides a trigger. And the entry model is that we need to have an inducement above that range low level, and we have this valid inducement over here. Why is this low a valid inducement of that range low? An inducement is only valid if there's actual liquidity resting beneath the low. There's liquidity resting beneath the low because of this fake break of structure. There's people breakout longing Phantom over here because of that fake break of structure with their stop loss beneath this low, or pullback longing Phantom over here. Now, as you guys can see, that fake break of structure has already led to a sweep of that sales liquidity, so far slightly front running our entry, guys. Two potential entry models. The first entry model is playing that perfect retest. The second entry model, guys, which is why we have a second and third entry, is anticipate a smaller second deviation below the range low before reclaim and then send it towards the mid-range and towards the range high take profit target. So guys, as you can see over here in a challenge channel on the Discord, we are risking about $16 to $17 on the Fed compound positions, and on the Phantom position we are risking about $20 on the 3 entries combined. But there's one more long that I'm looking to add as well, which is a beautiful potential long setup on Near Protocol. Near is one of the strongest performing altcoins and has a beautiful range, guys. Range pivot number 1 over here at the yearly high, and a range pivot number 2 and range pivot number 3 over here for the range low. Guys, deviation below the range low should visit the mid-range liquidity pool and the range high liquidity pool afterwards, according to our system. Now, what we can see Once again, a beautiful inducement being formed over here slightly above this range low, which means that our entry model provides a potential trigger because we can play these perfect retests of these obvious range levels as long as we have a valid inducement above or below them. Right now we have a valid inducement above the range low support level, which means that our first entry is right here at that range low level, which is also where we have this bullish daily fair value gap, which is a very nice alignment. And we can see that the price was finding resistance once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. And then if we zoom in, we can see that at the 6th test over here, we provided ourselves with a beautiful bullish breakaway gap, which was indicating strength from the bulls and indicating that the bulls are regaining control. And in my opinion, if you get such a strong breakaway gap at around such a key level, then that is definitely a big sign of strength from the bulls. Second entry is a test of the previous weak point of control, and right above the previous weak point of control is where we have this low acting as an inducement, right? Because some people that are going to look to long the pullback over here, right? They're looking to put their stops over here, but some will also put their stops over here and over here. But they are putting their stops exactly where we have the previous weak point of control and where we have this bullish high probability order block for near protocol on the 1 hourly time frame. What is a nice confluence about the chart on near is that we have some Elliott wave confluence. Because if we are going to start a new 5-wave impulsive structure over here after this higher time frame corrective structure, right, A, B, C, then start a new impulsive structure, then we are looking at a wave 1 that is finished, a wave 2 that is finished, potentially currently in a bigger wave 3 before bigger wave 4 and wave 5. Now we know that inside of a bigger wave 3 you also get 5 subcounts, in which this might be wave 1. We anticipate wave 2 to give us a pullback and fill our entries, then get wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 to complete that bigger third wave over here, which is some nice Elliott wave confluence. So altcoins are looking pretty strong. The only problem is, guys, that Bitcoin is providing a bit of a weak bounce so far, so Bitcoin might form a lower low still and still go for that 57k liquidity pool. That is still possible, but I always tell you guys, and I've taught you guys, that you want to analyze altcoins without letting Bitcoin influence your decision making, right? So yes, Bitcoin might form a lower low, but that doesn't mean that altcoins cannot form a higher low. Obviously altcoins can follow as well and maybe even dump harder, but I'm gonna stick to my system right here. Yes, I've opened up 3 brand new long positions, right, in which some orders still have to get hit, but I'm not risking as much as the previous time where I got wrecked pretty hard. Now, if my bias does turn out to be right, and if our positions do get hit, and if they do reverse after hitting our entry points, then we will make up for the losses that we took on the previous losses, and that is my goal for these positions right here. And potentially, if our entries get hit and we do get a strong bounce and Bitcoin does offer some confluence, we can also potentially compound our profits along the way up for our swing long targets, which align around the mid-range and the range high for these altcoins. So a bit of a different episode compared to usual, but I still hope that you guys did enjoy the 12th episode of the VIP series of the $500 to $10,000 trading challenge. Guys, many traders wouldn't show their losses, they only show you their wins. I'm here to be as transparent as possible. We did take some losses on the account, but it's part of the game. It's all about how we recover and how we stick to our risk management the next time, even though we might feel very confident, even though we might feel very euphoric, and even though it's just a small challenge account. Obviously, I didn't take these risks on my main account, but still, it's stupid because I have to treat this challenge like it's a $100,000 trading account. And that's the goal of this challenge, to show you guys how you can run up a trading account without having to risk too much of the trading balance. Now, if you guys did enjoy today's YouTube video, make sure to smash the like button, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Ciao, ciao!